What? Let's try and make our own provisional squad on the players that we expect to start for Coach Benny McCarthy tomorrow as they take on Madagascar. Remember, this is not the final squad. It's just our provisional squad. Players that we've selected that we feel probably they will be starting tomorrow. Now, let's begin with the goalkeeper, Brian Omondi. And he's expected to be in between the sticks for Harambee Stars.
That's the position that actually we are happy of having all those lines of goalkeeper. Farouk Shikalo, when he was given that particular trade, he did us wonders. Yes. He has kept the clean sheet that Brian Omondi started giving us with. So Omondi coming back, Omondi will just coming back with the same level. But I understand Omondi having played for 2 matches and has given us the value that we are looking for. And remember, he actually parried away so many dangers in that particular post. He's also good at communicating. I could see him fuming up whenever the central defense makes a mistake. And that's the kind of goalkeeper you want. You want a goalkeeper who starts the first line of communication to the team. Because the goalkeeper line where he stands from, he knows where their defenders are. He knows how the wingers operate. He can as well as launch a complaint to the midfield. He can shout, calling whoever that actually is getting sluggish up front to come and offer the defensive line that is required for. And Omondi has grown through that level and has become a keeper that we rely on moving forward.
In defense, Danny Sakari, Alphonse Omija, Sylvester Owino, Abu Domaru.
This defense, I think McCarthy knows where the secret of this defense lies most.
Yes.
I'm so much confidence in our central defense. And also given to the essence that we have one of the central defender who has actually traded across all those. And these are 24 years old Sylvester Owino. That tells me at least we have somebody who has got this element of consistency in that particular team. He's actually growing up to become a senior person in that particular defense line. To the essence that he has played all through. He knows how actually to maneuver that line and to communicate. So Omija coming to pair because they paired in the first match, he will still be offering Omija whatever Omija missed out in that subsequent match. He happened to come in as a substitute. Similar to say Dan Sakari will be still coming back. Remember the second match actually he was benched by Ben McCarthy. He will still have to come back. If he happen to come back, he need to live to the cog because the defensive line is where the Kenyans really instrument lies most. Abu Domari. Similarly, just like Alphonse Omija and Danny Sakari, and I don't necessarily understand why McCarthy decided to bench them in their second match. Maybe he knows it better than us. But now that they are coming back, they know very well that they are in a danger stage. The stage that they are in does not invite a draw. Neither does it invite a lose. That stage calls for a win. So when you are actually being deployed, you are entrusted to carry Kenya to final. You are there to win. They are coming in to actually seal that barrier that is required, not to allow any ball to go past Brian
Sitting
Omondi.
in front of these two is
Mansour
Okwaro, and of course Alpha Onyango, and then you have Danny Sakwa, Austin Odhiambo, as well as Boniface Mushiri.
I liked the essence how Mansour is actually being utilized by McCarthy. He's actually a utility player. He's becoming up to be a utility player. Because remember at KCB, he's necessarily associated by the wing back.
Yes.
But now being deployed as a defensive midfielder, of which and he has done a very wonderful job. He knows how to walk around that particular space and to call balls that could actually upset us. Yes. I remember at some point when everyone has lost it, he cleared the ball from the line. That's the kind of the defensive midfielder that we need. And when he moves up front, he knows actually how to hold on that ball and try to that way. He becoming a destroyer in that particular line to cool off that attacking line from the opponent. And that's the role that they will be playing together with the Amphomija. I think the Alpha Nyango. There are two different kind of defensive midfielder here, according to my perspective. Alpha, when he's on ball, he slows down the game. He likes actually holding the ball. He moves the ball too slow, slowing the tempo of the game too slow. And sometimes when he comes to pass, doesn't release that passes easily. There's at some point, I think our last match, where he got a chance actually to make it as to punish the goalkeeper. But and again, he gave out a very feeble shot. But he had an acre of spaces actually to release that shot. So the value he will be bringing in vis-a-vis the Mansour is to slowing the game whenever the tempo is very high.
You have David Sakwa, Austin Odhiambo, and Boniface Mushiri.
Now, here it comes the youngster, David Sakwa. And I think what Sakwa has done, has given us a role that he can be deployed anywhere. I think at a point when he's playing, he falls back to offer the defensive line that is required to that wing back. Remember, at times Danny Sakari travels very fast to go up front. So when he goes up front, they can as well as swap with Sakwa offering the defensive service that is required there. And when he carries the ball, we have seen him trying to carry the ball and try to bring the crosses that the likes of Ryan can latch on. Sir Austin is the creative engine of this particular team. the creativity that we have seen in this team actually circumnavigates around Austin Odhiambo. He's a kind of a player whom we rely on to bring the beauty that will bring the oomph and carry the atmosphere in that particular area. Where he goes to sleep, that team and the spirit of the fans goes down. So each and every time he need to know killer passes comes from him. Destroying the team midfield comes from him. And carrying the ball, transiting all the way from the defense up to the up front relies with him. He's a role, a key in that particular team. Boniface Muchiri has a tricky movement. Moves very tricky, very fast. And what I like about him also, a very slight tackle to him. So defenders need to be very worried about him. Because a slight defense brings him down to ground, which can result to dangerous free kick in danger area. Sometimes even it can result to a penalty. And we need some kind of a tricky player like that whenever they know what to do at what particular time. When you are in the box and you know very well you are not in a prime time to score, bring yourself down whenever tackle comes hard to you. You will give us the results. Yes. When you are not in the box, you know how actually to combat. And that kind of charisma experience that he's bringing into in this particular pitch is what we are relying on, the trickiness when he's in the box. We will be actually depending on him to make those moves, runs, and try to also the killer passes. Remember our last goal, the pass came from him. Readability of the game comes from the midfielder. And these are one of the midfielders we have seen that have grown through the career element of soccer that we want in Kenya. And they can read a game when to destroy it and when to pass that particular ball that is required.
And finally, the man of the moment, Ryan Ogam.
Ryan Ogam. Now he's actually trading into his prime spaces. Remember the first match we complained about, most
Being
about
played,
him, when he was
played out of position.
Off his position and he did not perform. At some point, that's why even players actually end up harming their career simply because they are played off their position. But when he was deployed at the right places and the passes started coming, the supply that he required started coming, it hasn't been disappointing. He have been latching on loser balls where midfielders try to score but they are not score. He knows very well how to put those balls behind the goal. He tries curve shot. He curves around the walls. Remember his first goal? Yes. Actually, he curved that ball to an essence that I was thinking. He's reminding me of watching more of EPL. Simply because of how he could score that particular. And that's the 21-year-old bringing us that particular aspect. And becoming a typical number 9. He's reminding us that our number 9 talisman is slowly fading away. But he's telling us a story that he's ready to fill in that particular shoe. So as tomorrow, being in a quarterfinal, he knows very well he's the player who can carry Kenya to final and even win this trophy for us. So tomorrow he's ready actually to break his feet because of our putting the smiles on our face.
Yes, of course, this is our probable lineup for the tie against Madagascar. Brian Omondi in between the sticks, Sakari, Alfonso Mija, Sylvester Owino, Abu Domar, Alpha Nyango, Manzuro Kwar, then David Sakwa, Austin Odhiambo, Boniface Muchiri, and Ryan Ogam. That is how we expect Harambee Stars to line up tomorrow. But remember, that is not Benny McCarthy's squad. That is the squad that we, as the Chan Analysis Show experts, have chosen for tomorrow. Now, let's move on from Harambee Stars. Madagascar also have guys that will threaten